Hello everyone, and welcome to One Control Report, and thank you for joining me for another pickup video. This one will be focusing mainly on PlayStation 2, DS, and PCFX, although I think there's like one other game in here that doesn't fit within that realm. I was kind of surprised to do this again so soon after the last one, given I went such a long hiatus without doing a pickup video. But I just happened to order another box of stuff from Vink from Japan Retro Direct. This is all Japan Retro Direct stuff, so again, I cannot recommend them enough. I do really like shopping with them. Maybe not, maybe purchase a few too many things, but it's so easy to just like bundle a whole box together, right? And then you do the shipping is significantly cheaper. So anyway, so I have a stack of games over here. We're just going to take a look at them. Like I said last time, unfortunately, to sit there and record footage and then provide impressions for every single one is kind of a long process for the type of video this is. So we're just going to be kind of looking at the packaging, going through the manual. I'll try to take out whatever I can, although one of these I have played actually. So we'll actually start with that one. So I got myself here. Oh yeah, I need to go to the other. Here. Okay. I got myself here a copy of, I actually don't know the full name of this. When I looked this up online on an English language wiki, it just said Mobile Suit Gundam Seed for the PS2. With no additional details. I don't know if that's true. There are other characters right there, but I don't know. Maybe that's just like something going on. I don't know what any of those kanji mean, but I don't know the name of this game, unfortunately. So, anyways, I did play this one on stream a little bit. I don't know anything about Gundam Seed. If you know me, you know that I don't really watch a lot of anime, honestly. But this is like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. So it is, oh, look at that pink disc. I forgot this disc was so pink. It's so good. This is a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And I will say, when I first started playing this, the first couple levels did not inspire me. I think the shooting in the game is not particularly good. But the presentation, I think, is really, really good for a PS2 game. I think it looks really nice. And also, like, every character in the game has, like, a character portrait that shows up, or every, like, mobile suit you fight. So as you're, like, destroying these mobile suits, you see everybody's face, and all of them just, like, screaming. It's kind of terrifying to some degree, honestly. Like, I feel like you do not get that much like up close and personal time with most other mobile suit pilots in Gundam as they die. So it's kind of like, oh god. But yeah, it's a kind of a fun thing. Basically, how the Gundam itself works is I think you choose between like a set of Gundams before a mission. And then, or more of it's like, you have one base Gundam, I think, and then you have like armor and like accessories that you equip on. I think that's what these are right here. So you have different types of Gundams here. And each of these have different, or at least the ones I played had different guns. He also has like a knife that he uses. I don't know anything about Gundam Seed, so I don't know if traditional Gundam Seed Gundam is just like somebody that uses a knife all the time, but that seems to be kind of like the main combo. And it's it plays well when you have that like power suit on, and the melee I think works all the time, but the gun aspect is like what really kind of gets degraded if you lose your armor, because your default gun, this like beam rifle, is very, very slow. And there are sections of the game where you have to use your gun to shoot something in the background, or it's like an on-rail shooting segment. And the rate of fire just being so slow, and the lack of impact that you get from shooting enemies and things like that, I think it's just a little underwhelming. But when you use the other guns that are a lot more like rapid fire and things like that, you can do different combos with them. I think like the one I had, I think it was this one here, is like a flamethrower machine gun kind of thing, or maybe it was a beam rifle. I think it was a beam rifle actually. And like there were different like combos you could put in with the inputs. You can see these little like fighting game combos down there, and that would like do different types of attacks. Where the default beam rifle doesn't seem to really have anything like that, unfortunately. So anyways, I mean, I only played it for a little bit, so maybe I'm wrong about that, but it was interesting. It looks like there might be some other playable characters here. I don't know if this is like a story mode thing, or if it's like a, hey, there's a 2-player versus mode or something. I could check the back of the box. These are like some Zoid-looking things there. Again, also don't know anything about Zoids, but no, there's some telephone numbers. You want to call Bandai Namco today? Looks like we also got ourselves a little, like, Gundam set advertisement thing. What do we got going on here? We have a Wonder Swan Crystal Gundam game here. Would Wonder Swan still be going in 2000-ish? I guess it would. I don't know if I've ever gotten a game with a Wonder Swan Crystal or Wonder Swan advertising in it. Bandai Channel, I don't know what that is. And this is a PlayStation, oh, like a Super Sunrise World War. Interesting. Kind of looks like maybe like a tactics game of some sort. I mean, I would assume like Super Robot Tyson would be what that was, but no, apparently that's a different thing. And then out on DVD. This is DVD out now, rather. Okay, cool. Well, thank you, Gundam. Thank you for your service to me. I'd imagine this game is not very long, so I might sit down and play through this at some point. Per usual, frisbeeing games onto the bed. Let's stick with the PS2. Let me, I put it on the bottom of the stack here. I got 2 games. So I already opened that one. These 2 I have not opened yet. So I think these are called like Mad Maestro in the US or something. But I had a friend of mine who recommended these to me a long time ago. And I can't remember. I feel like the US copies of these are maybe a little more expensive than I would ever pay for something like this. But on Vink's site, for the Japanese copy, it was, you know, quite a bit cheaper. I also think I believe I read on Vink's website that all the voice acting is in English, so you know the menus and stuff I could probably get around without too much trouble. I don't really know how this works, but basically it's a rhythm game. I guess this one's ripping. I usually try not to rip these plastic things open, but that one fell apart on me. So, but yeah, I don't know how this game works per se. My friend, when I talked to him about it, said he liked the story aspects of the game, and he thinks I would like that too. But then said the gameplay part of it, you know, is fine. So I have a lot of rhythm games I have got and have not actually got around to playing, unfortunately. So this is added right on top of the stack for that. But yeah. Let me see if I can figure out like what this gameplay is like real quick. So, okay, it looks like we might have like 4 different directions here. So I'm gonna guess maybe it's like face button kind of thing, or D-pad, like kind of Samba de Amigo, but on like a controller, right? That's what I'm thinking. A lot of faces there. So, the Bravos Park. I like the art style for this a lot, though. Very cute looking. Ooh. I like this, I don't know, is this like a... I wonder if these are real figures or if these are like 3D models that were made. They kind of look like somebody handmade some real figures, which is kind of neat. So... But, yeah, Too Fast, Too Slow. I wonder if this is one of those games where like a CRT is recommended. You know, some older rhythm games. I know like Parappa the Rappa, I've tried playing that off of CRT and it's actually like surprisingly hard to do. And then so we have the Christmas edition, and I'll be honest with you, I do not really know the difference between these games other than obviously one is Christmas. I like holiday games, or rather holiday things in games like Christmas Nights, and I'm trying to think what else. Gunvolt has a holiday thing where you like collect Christmas presents and like the levels get icy and things like that. I like that kind of stuff, and you know, you would think today, you know, in the modern era, I would be ecstatic because of all the live games with holiday events, but live games often require you to be playing them long term, and I do not play live games, unfortunately, really. So I don't really know what's up with this one, other than I assume there's probably Christmas music in it. I don't know if it's like an original story. It looks like maybe some of these cutscenes are 2D. Maybe, I can't really tell. But I would assume we're probably getting, you know, happy Xmas songs. That seems like a reasonable amount. I don't know if this is like a repurposing in the main game or if it's an entirely new separate story or how long it is or what. But I really dig the little Christmas things around it. I personally would love to see more Christmas specific games or holiday specific games. I know that's like a terrible business model because, you know, it kind of only sells one time a year, right? But, you know, dream the dream. So part of me wants to try this for Christmas, although I think if I were, I would want to try to finish up the original Mad Maestro. I don't know how long these games are. It's a nice disc. Again, I like holiday themed stuff. You know, when I'm recording this, I think this goes up in like October maybe, but when I'm recording this, it's September right now. Still like 100 and something outside, but I'm like already like all the Japanese like artists and mobile games are putting out their Halloween stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's time, it's holiday time, but it's like burning hot September. So that's it for PS2 games. I have some DS games here. Let's start with just one at a time. These aren't related, so. And this is Archaic Sealed Heart, and this is, I believe, a Mistwalker game, if I recall correctly. I know Sakaguchi at least worked on this, so, like, you know, Final Fantasy man. The guy who is often credited for Final Fantasy stuff. Obviously, development teams are made up of a lot more people, but, you know, Hironobu Sakaguchi is up to Final Fantasy 9 specifically, I think, is kind of credited. Oh, there's like, I don't know if this comes off on screen, there's like a glittery kind of nature to this. So this is like an RPG that unfortunately never got localized. I believe, it's been a long time since I've looked at this, but I believe the whole thing of this game is that it used some pre-rendered video, which, you know, was something you could do on the DS. If you ever look at like Metroid Prime Hunter's First Hunt on the DS, it shows off that technology, right? There's plenty of other DS games that do it too, Final Fantasy 3 and things like that. But I believe that was kind of the intention of this game. And then all the character models, I think, or the character sprites in combat, are, I believe, pre-rendered 3D models turned into sprites. So the Donkey Kong Country of the Final Fantasy universe. So I have not really heard much about this game. I've always wanted to give it a look. It looks really nice. I like the character art. I don't know mechanically what's going on here. But yeah, it was Japanese only. So in getting this, I did look into it, and I was like, okay, there appears to be a unofficial translation for this game. It does not seem like it was distributed in good faith. Maybe based off what I was reading, it sounds like somebody was working on it. They yeah, there we go. So we got like the enemies on the top screen and the party on the bottom screen. They were apparently like working on it, and I think I don't know if they finished it, but it's like 100% complete, at least in terms of like, I think all the text has changed in the game. I don't know how close or accurate it is. Again, all this just like seems to be hearsay on the internet from what I was reading. And it sounds like the person who made it or group who made it never actually distributed it, and they only distributed it to like a group of people for testing, and then it never went anywhere from there. What reason that is or something, I don't know. Don't ask me. We got Club Nintendo card. Don't steal my Club Nintendo points. So this is interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. It's like a AC power cable warning guide. I don't think I've ever had a DS game with this. Maybe it's just missing? That's really interesting. I love the little person here hanging out on there. So anyways, so to continue the story, so I don't know like if that fan translation ever officially got out, but the unofficial fan translation ever officially got out. You know, it did get out there. It never really actually got released, it sounds like. Again, all just like reading hearsay on the internet, because I couldn't find like the patcher tool or anything like that. I couldn't find it on ROM hacking. So I have downloaded what I believe is the English translation for this. I have not tested it yet, so maybe I've got a virus. Maybe all my Patreon money's gone now. But, you know, I'll try it out, see what happens. You know, I understand that there might be some ethics concern behind something like that, given it wasn't officially... the unofficial translation wasn't officially distributed, but if it's complete and stuff like that, I personally see there being a lot of value to that, even if it was abandoned or something. So, you know, it's one of those weird things, you know. I personally think there's a lot of like gray area in a lot of that stuff to some degree, but you know, I think you can look at like repros and things like that being very similar. Personally, oh, we have a cat hanging out here. Hey cat, you gonna come over here and adventure with us? No? Goodbye. Well, knock my light down. Alright, anyways, light is back. Sorry if you hear the cat jingle. He's been walking around a bunch and I don't know if it's actually showing up. Anyways. So, yeah. So, anyways, all that stuff aside. This thing. Oh god, I can't remember the name of this. It says perfect clear. Oh, what does that say? It say... Bahu Kuto Tsura. I don't remember what it is. It looks like it's... Maybe it's I don't remember the name of this one. I'm sorry. I'll put the name, but we got Beness down here. I think that is what I was calling it, like Beness DS. Anyway, so this is apparently like, at least what had been considered on his website, I think it's like a mail order only game for the DS, and it seems like it was like helping you prepare for a test, or it would help you like, you know, learn some stuff. And I might be wrong, but I assume there's like 4 different categories maybe of what's in here. I specifically picked it up because there were some English test things in here, so I could probably figure that out. Although I am seeing like some kind of math, I think, on the back of here. Yeah, it's like some math problems right there. This is one of those things that you pick up and it's like, you know, take a hot shot to see what happens. Maybe it's something interesting, but very good chance it will be something I cannot do anything with. You know, so little card in here. I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like a booklet, maybe. Not quite sure what that is. So, and then we got ourselves the manual. So you made their own little like characters for this thing. I thought they looked cute. That's the big reason why I picked it up. There's a lot of like edutainment stuff in Japan. I personally would love to look at more of it, but it's one of those things that like you're not going to get a lot out of this unless you probably know, you know, Japanese. And this is one of those things where I probably won't get a lot out of it. But, you know, brain training kind of stuff. Write numbers. Write some characters. Very fun. My handwriting is really terrible. Oh, that's cute. Look at that little, I don't know, Raggedy Ann looking thing. So, perfect English. Kind of English test things we got going on here. Does it say anything? I don't see much. There's some cute art in this game, though. I saw there's like a little preview of some of these cards here. Where were they? Very cute looking cards. Oh, there's a dolphin. What I was looking at? What was I looking at? Maybe it's just this. There's like these little like Hanafuda looking card things here. It's very small and hard to see. I feel like I saw that in a larger screenshot somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, cute little cards there. So, I don't really know what to expect. Don't eat this thing though. Do not. This game was not mail ordered to you for you to consume and die off of. So, but yeah, it looks like a neat little thing. I need to put it in and try it out. I will say, when it comes to like English learning stuff in particular, I picked up a Switch game called Betia, which is like a English learning game for the Switch using a microphone. It's very neat in a lot of ways. However, you know, as an English speaker, there's no real challenge to it, right? So it's a little hard to get a lot out of it as somebody importing it. Like, it's very playable, but it's also like all the challenge of the game is based off of you know, you not knowing any or knowing very little English, right? Gonna do a little GBA sidetraction here, so not a lot to show here. You know, just a GBA car. I'm somebody who does not worry about GBA cases very much. I have most of my GBA boxes lost, I think, like most people, thrown out, whatever happened to them. So I'm pretty much a loose cart collector when it comes to anything Nintendo 64 and before that, and on portable systems outside of the DS. So, you know. So this is a little Sanrio game. It's a cinnamon bun platformer, I think. I don't know how long this game is. I just thought it looked really cute. Again, not a lot I can say about it here. I recently played that Hello Kitty puzzle game, and that was pretty fun. But although it was not particularly hard, so I kind of expect the same thing here. I expect, so probably something fairly short. Probably going to look very cute, and it probably will be, you know, simple fun, but nothing challenging, right? So, anyways, there's our little GBA moment, and we'll finish this out with the PCFX. I've got 3 PCFX games. Holy crap, Ben, what are you doing? I picked up Angelique. This is what initially prompted this order in the first place. Copy of Angelique Special 2. I believe I have every Angelique game on the PCFX now. And you're like, Ben, is that like your favorite PCFX series? I'm like, guess what? I haven't beaten or played a single one of them. So, you know, I'm kind of at the point, and you're probably going to see that with some of these other things here, where like, you know, I have enough PCFX games that anything that's like somewhat affordable, that's like not going to be break the bank or something, I'm just going to go ahead and grab probably, you know. So anyway, so we got ourselves the Angelique Special 2 release here, so this is one of the jewel case games rather than a giant box. I think only maybe the first Angelique special came into like the larger plastic boxes for the PCFX, but it is a double disc thing going on here. I actually don't know, is this like a 2-disc game or is it like a separate disc with stuff on it? Let's see if we can explore that real quick and see what's going on there. Oh, come on. Open. Thank you. Ah! It's missing. I talked to Vink about this, and yeah, apparently it did not ship with another disc there. Apparently this is something that happens with some games in Japan. He also noted that like other versions of the game also just have no extra disc in that slot, which is kind of strange. It's kind of funny. I looked online, and in some of the auctions I saw, people did fill that disc slot out, but they would like just put in like another Angelique game rather than like any kind of disc that was ever included there. So it seems like this was something that was never there in the first place. So there's your extra. Oh, fill it in with whatever you want. Put in a copy of, I don't know, Pen Triathlon. There's your Pen Triathlon slot. I actually don't know. What was in the other disc slot? I'll have to find out. There's probably a good chance that Vink wrote in the description that whatever this was not there. So I might need to look in to see what that was. But we at least have this thing here. This looks like, it doesn't say like disc 1 or anything on it, so it looks like it's probably the full game there. So yeah, there we go on that. And then we got the Angeliques. I do not know the Angelique characters very well. I feel like every Angelique game I look at and all the men look the same to me, which might be very intentional. Maybe I played some of this one actually, now that I think about it. Maybe I burned a copy of Angelique Special. I remember putting this guy, or like Angelique Special 2, I remember putting this guy in there. So, yeah, I'm curious what that back disc was, but I'll have to look into it. Again, Vink usually will say if something's missing, so there's a good chance I just did not read the description super well. So, yeah. PCFX manuals are usually pretty thick and usually have a lot of art in them, which is very nice. So, there we go. Wow. Wow. I have nothing really to say about Angelique Special, unfortunately, because I have not really played them. Although, Emily Dory did a video on Angelique, so you should go watch that if you have not done that yet. Because it is an important video game that I have not sat down and really played or understand yet. But it is important. So, anyways, there we go. I'm going to try not to frisbee this one. There we go. All right. Next one. Oh my god. Migama-san. This is based on an anime, manga. I don't know where it originated from, but I know there's an anime at the very least. This one came up because if you didn't listen to the last PCFX podcast we did, Filler and a couple other people are at least working on a fan translation for this. Whether it actually comes out's a whole other thing. So like I'm not sitting here saying that like, oh yeah, it's absolutely happening or something. But anyway, so Vink had picked up a copy for him, and he also got a copy here. So this is kind of in prep to some degree. Obviously, if I can, I'll be playing the English version. So I'm not in any rush to play this one. But we have all the packaging stuff. I can send in a survey, let them know what I think about whatever this thing is. Got the spine thing. I forget, spine card. Have a price on it. I feel like the music CDs have prices on their spine cards usually. This does not though. So it's a nice looking disc. I like that. And then we'll go ahead and bring this up here. Again, I don't know much about this, so I have played a little bit of this game. It is largely like an adventure game. It is kind of like Yuna-ish in some ways, like Yuna FX. I think there are maybe some like mini games in there. I cannot say that with confidence, so do not take that. But it is very interactive with its like, or maybe not interactive, but like dynamic with its portraits and stuff. So all like character portraits like move around on screen and things like that, which is kind of fun. This is a port of, I think, a PC98 game. And so this version of the game obviously has like I don't know if like a deeper color palette is the right word, but it does kind of, you know, end up in that situation where like the PC98 version, if you upscale that, it looks a lot better because of the more limited color palette. But then the PCFX version, you probably want some like blur over from like a CRT or something like that, right? So I do not know anything about this series. This PCFX thing will be the first time I really interact with this series, and probably the last time I interact with this series. Both these guys are having a good time right now. For some reason, Sayoko looks really familiar. Who does she remind me of? I don't know. Anime girl with black hair, probably one of those. All these, like, for some reason, like, all these men have their, like, chins very pronounced. I don't know what's going on with that. So, Bell Dandy. That's a fun name to say. Bell Dandy. Again, I don't know anything about this. I wonder if they kept Bell Dandy in the localization. Keiichi? Is that the Higurashi main character's name as well? Scold? Scold. So, anyways, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. We do have another disc slot here too. Woo. And we have disc 2 here. Labeled as disc 2 with a K. I feel like I only see disc with a K when it's floppy disk usually, so it's an adventure. So very excited to check that out. Let's put that right there. Whoops. I will say with the Angelique thing, I've gotten to the point where like burning games is actually fairly consistent for me on the PCFX. So if there's like a second disc missing, there's a very good chance I just burn the game and throw it in there. So, and then the last game, the last PCFX game. I had no intentions of buying this game. This had been sitting on Vink's store for, as far as I could tell, multiple years now. I feel like it's been the longest sitting PCFX game. You know, there's probably a good reason why. There's other ways to play Return to Zork. I don't know what this is really. I know it's like a adventure game. I assume in like a more Myst style. It is weird to see a PCFX game with an Activision logo on it. Something about that is odd. But it's just been sitting there for so long, and I was just like, all right. I will partake in an epic adventure in the Great Underground Empire that's in a different language than I can speak. I don't know how many versions of this game there were released in Japan, but this one at least has a dub in it. You know, it's a big, you know, black box PCFX game as well, which is nice. Really nice quality manual here. I like this, like, literal... Oh, I just spat all over the manual. I'm sorry. Just spit. Launch and spit. I like this picture of a, this PCFX controller. That's kind of fun. Like, not even, like, just an infographic. Just somebody took a picture of one. I have some memo notes. Unfortunately, I do not have any memo notes from any, Japanese players. I wonder how many people ever use the notes section in these manuals. I feel like I never see anyone write in the notes section. So, there are English ways to play this game. It might make sense before I play this to play it on, like, I think, like, you can get it on Steam and stuff like that, too. So, it might make sense to go pick it up somewhere else first, play through it, and then just kind of, you know, speed run it through the PCFX version just to look at it and be like, yeah, you could play Return to Zork on the PCFX. I held it towards the camera like I was the main view, so. Alright, let's take a look at this disc. There we go. Oh, I like this disc. Big old Z on it. Again, strange to see an Activision logo. If only it was right over here under the PCFX logo. So, yeah, that's a nice disc. That's a nice package. You know, a little more expensive than I'd like for something that I'm like, I have no idea if I'll even get any use out of this. It was like $30, but it's been there so long. It needed a home, and I am probably going to be that home. I will say I'm not, like, in the market to collect every piece of CFX game. Like, I personally have boundaries I set on buying games, and, you know, I always forget what this is. Like, does it go down here first, and then this goes on top of it? That's how it works. I personally will never spend, you know, the money needed for a lot of these games. So, you know, mainly I only pick this up because, you know, it is affordable, right? If it's gonna be $100+, probably not going to be doing it myself, so. And it's nice because, a lot of these may not have their manuals scanned online and stuff, so I can go ahead and do that when the time comes. So, yeah. We'll see. We'll get there. When I will get to Return to Zord. When will I get to making new PCFX videos? Well, no comment. I always say, oh, I've got it on a timeline. It's on, it's like on this part of my calendar that I'm setting it up, and then it almost never hits whatever I want it to hit. So let's just not say much. There are things that I'm working on, but I'm not going to promise anything until we're there. So anyways, thank you for joining me. Again, Japan Retro Direct is where I ordered all those from, so if you are interested in importing just like a variety of Japanese games, I always recommend it. Buy a bunch of stuff at once, because then you can bundle it in one package, save on shipping. Shipping is a nightmare right now, so as much as you can save money on it, the better, if you're going to import stuff, I will say. So, and it seems like he adds stuff like every couple days, or every half week to week at least, so if you keep up with it, you can see kind of him add stuff on bit by bit, but good variety of things on there. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this week, though. Thank you again for coming. Thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll check out those games in some way, in some form or another at some point. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But otherwise, onecontroller.com is the website. If you're interested in PCFX stuff, I have a PCFX playlist if you want to check that stuff out. Also, PlayStation 2, I got like a general import playlist. That probably makes the most sense to point you to as well. So if you want to check out some more stuff, I also have a pickups video playlist, although again, I haven't posted a ton of them recently, so some of them are pretty old at this point. So yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it. Thank you again. Bye.